First of all, thank you for hosting. I haven't done this in a few years, so I'm pretty excited about this. Cool. So I'm here to talk about when too much of something is a bad thing. So first of all, hi, my name is Xavi. I'm not that kind of Xavi. I hope so. But yeah. And like I said, I'm here. I'm a tech lead at Nando's. I've been with Nando's for 3.5 years now. And I'm here to talk about when too much of something is a bad thing. So just let me take you on a journey. So about over 5 years ago, Nando's didn't have a strong online presence. So in the past few years, there's been a focus on digitalizing. Does that exist? Digitizing the journey, right? The Nando's journey. Most of you might remember 2020. I'm not going to say the C word, though. COVID. Damn it, just said it. So we had to close all our restaurants. That was not fun. But we rolled our sleeves, and so we got to work. Because for us, it was a huge opportunity. We had the opportunity to integrate, modernize, and in some cases, build from scratch new tools for when we reopen without the risk of screwing anything up. Because there was no such thing as production, because nobody was using our product, right? So it was all closed. So that was great. It was great. We were really excited, and it didn't matter if we brought production, right? So that meant that we could deploy faster than ever because we could take bigger risks. When a new manager joins Nando's after they reopen, this is what they find. A list of 61 applications that they now have to get familiarized. 61 different UIs, 61 different experiences. So our tech explosion basically led to a very fractured and incoherent ecosystem of tools without a single source of truth in most cases. Managers had to remember, I need to go to this website to do this tool to do that. And when this says this, I need to log in into this one and do blah, 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 right? So what are the consequences of this? Well, frustration increased, engagement decreased. I'm talking about Nandocas, which is our staff. And so efficiency also decreased. Managers had to spend loads of time basically dealing with tools, dealing with a computer instead of running a restaurant, instead of caring about the people they're managing and they need to mentor and lead. With things like, this is a real quote, by the way. I know it looks made up, but I have enough apps going in my life without adding another one. And this is from Frustrated Manager. They recognize that it's been great over the past years to get great tools. There's just a lot of them. And so their jobs get harder, basically. So how do we solve this? We decided we need to create a single point of access for those tools, at least bring them back together in a hub. But we're going to go a little bit beyond that strategy. We're going to focus on content. As in, the analogy is the TV nowadays is focused on content. You worry about your shows that you want to see. You don't care if it's Netflix, Amazon, now Paramount. It's too much. So the platforms are focusing on content. So we want to go that. And also, we wanted to push the content to the user. We don't want to increase the cognitive load of those managers for them to have to think the processes and everything. We need to bring those applications, those content to them. So what was our vision? So we wanted to create an epicenter of rationalized, intelligent, and optimized digital ecosystem of experiences to enable Nandocas to manage their work. Okay, so let's break it down. First of all, we called it Nossa Casa, which means our home in Portuguese. We're a Portuguese South African brand. Most of our language is Portuguese. Our brand language is in Portuguese. So we use Nossa Casa. Okay, let's break it down. Epicenter. We built the framework and tools for our teams to focus on creating continuous impact from a single space. Basically, that fancy sentence means that we are using a micro front-end architecture to allow our teams to focus on experiences rather than full-on tools. We call them widgets. You might have heard that. Rationalized. Rather than giving a long list of apps, we decided to curate and separate dashboards that contain those widgets, so that they're context-based. Yes, I missed the word. Also, the intelligent part of it is because it is using micro frontends on an event-based architecture allows us to communicate applications that otherwise would be much more complicated infrastructure-wise to get to communicate. That would enable us also to publish and subscribe to different events that might affect the context of their own widgets, therefore reacting to time of the day, location, day of the year, whatever it was. Optimized. By focusing on content and being journey-driven rather than tool-driven, we reduce the cognitive load needed to finish complex tasks that might require separate tools, as in increasing the Nandocas efficiency and allowing them to focus on more strategic bits. Digital ecosystem, because that was a long vision. That's why I'm breaking it down. Digital ecosystem. By providing a container, a shell, to host those experiences or widgets, we eliminated the need to build and maintain an infrastructure that otherwise would be supported by the teams themselves, as in a web server, for example. That was not needed anymore to serve those front ends because we provide that space for them. That reduces cost and time to production drastically. Experiences. That was the last word of the vision, I promise. As I explained, we're focusing on journeys and experiences rather than specific tasks or tools, so we can emulate managers' behavior. Therefore, we're able to preemptively satisfy their needs. So instead of expecting a manager to do, for example, a restock of a specific ingredient that has gone, that's run out, basically, we can highlight the sales and compare it with the prediction of sales, the stock that is already online, completely separate tools, and be able to tell the highlight this new widget, which is to a purchase order, for example, to get more chicken in this case, pre-populated with a potential value that is part of our prediction engine, and then basically send them an alert on the phone to say, hey, approve this because you're running out. So they focus on what for now is the most important thing, which is the eating experience. They focus on the customers. So that was Nandocas vision. I'll get to Split. So basically, we were trying to get our Nandocas from this to this. Something way more attractive, way more engaging, that is actually way more useful for them. So thanks to our friends from Split, how are we using it? What are the advantages? And how are we leveraging the power of Split? Basically, three things. A multi-step release, which means that Split allowed us to deploy targeted widgets to very specific audiences based on role, the date, the time, very specific variables, enabling progressive delivery to allow a multi-step release. And also test in production. Like that was a big, because this basically sped up our process of MVPs or proofs of concept that can go into production, and allowed us, don't tell this to anyone, to make changes without pull requests. It's not that I'm on camera. I've never said this. So measuring impact. Basically, within 30 minutes of a widget activation, we know whether it's caused a better or a worse user experience by a decrease in performance, for example, because we have it integrated with Sentry. So that also allows us to automatically kill the feature, avoiding hot fixes or rollbacks, because we only roll forward. Then experimentation, the third one, gives us a great experimentation platform that enables our teams to create and deploy widgets faster and more confidently, because they're behind feature flags. And that results basically in greater user impact and happier Nandocas. And happier Nandocas make happier customers. Thank you.